what we've seen in the 4 years before the Biden administration, and certainly what is happening in Afghanistan right now, will have some long-term repercussions. There are questions about whether, even if the US is committed in the short run to a particular country or a particular region, whether that commitment can be sustained or is credible over the longer term, and also whether that commitment might end in a very messy fashion, as we are seeing right now. So the question is whether there is an alternative power that can, again, fill in the void that might be created by perceptions of weak American commitments or weak American ability to deliver on those commitments. And it's not clear right now that the world is really looking for an alternative that is feasible and that it would feel comfortable with. So I think there is a little bit of room that the US has to work with, but not a great deal and not for much longer.
Sure, sir, but what does the new Taliban-controlled Afghanistan mean for China? And should the US be wary?
It's going to be a complicated situation. I mean, at one level, what is happening in Afghanistan might be considered a win for China because it suggests that the US has a lot of weaknesses in terms of its intelligence, in terms of the way it deploys its massive military arsenal and economic power, sometimes not to very productive ends, even from a narrow US perspective, let alone from a global perspective or the perspective of the countries involved. But for China, of course, the Muslim question is a very tricky one. And I think there is legitimate concern in Beijing about what a resurgent Taliban and a resurgent, extremist groups might mean for Chinese domestic stability, because it's hard to imagine this won't spill over the border in some fashion or the other. So I think Beijing is likely to gloat in the short run, but knows it could have some problems on its hands in the long run.